festivals make the claim that they offer something for everyone, and most just don't live up to the hype. Even fewer could hold a candle to the month-long festival juggernaut that takes place in Edinburgh, Scotland, every August. Do you like theater? They got that. Do you like rock and roll or jazz and blues? They got that too. Do you like street theater, magicians, comedians, weirdos, and all sorts of freaks doing stuff like this? Well, they got all of that too. In fact, this might be the only festival that truly does have something for everyone. Hey, I'm Guad Venegas, and this is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival from Edinburgh, Scotland. My name is Guad Venegas. I'm just a regular guy who likes to travel and have a good time. But when I travel, I like to hang out with a couple million of my closest friends, eat their food, drink their drink, and party like a native. I'm on a mission to see the world one festival at a time and experience firsthand what people are like when they drop their guard and start to party. This is World Party. Few cities undergo as drastic a transformation as the city of Edinburgh during the month of August. This historic city more than doubles its population to over 1 million as thousands of actors, artists, dancers, comedians, musicians, magicians, street performers, and weirdos invade this town for the month-long cultural binge known as the Edinburgh Festival. The festival is actually a conglomeration of smaller festivals, which are the Edinburgh International, the Fringe Festival, the Comedy Festival, the Free Fringe Festival, the Edinburgh Military Tattoo, the Jazz and Blues Festival, the Edinburgh Annuale, the Edinburgh Mela, the International Art Festival, the Interactive Festival, and the People's Festival. Yes, that's a lot, and we're gonna break it down. But first, we came here because this is the only city where you can watch a world-class opera, and 3 hours later, well, see a guy lift a cinder block with his testicles. Gotta love the French. Every available space in town, every auditorium, theater, school, university, church, and open space is host to a performance. Every wall is plastered with posters and ads for shows. For more on how this festival started, take a look at this.
Dateline, Edinburgh, Scotland. Following the carnage that was World War II, Edinburgh decided to become the stage for peace and unity around the world with the establishment of the Edinburgh Festival, a showcase of the world's finest theater and opera. In its inaugural year of 1947, though, 8 uninvited theater groups came to the city to hold their own performances. The following year, more groups arrived, leading to a local journalist to dub it the Fringe of the official festival. The name stuck. Today, the Edinburgh Festival remains one of the world's most prestigious arts gatherings in the world. However, the Fringe dwarfs it in size, and the idea of a Fringe Festival has caught on as well, as cities all around the world now host their own Fringe Festival.
The Royal Mile is the heart and soul of the Fringe. This is where the street fair takes place and where the people gather to watch the street performers perform. That's what's great about the Fringe. Pretty much anybody who is willing and capable can perform their act here in front of the people. Which is also what brings us to one of the biggest criticisms of the festival, which is the vastly different array of level of talent on performances. On one end of the spectrum, you're going to get to see some world-class theater and opera performers and up-and-comers like the Flight of the Conchords who got their big break here. On the other end of the spectrum, though, you'll see some people who probably should have stayed at home. And maybe you'll see some things that, well, maybe you wish you never did. The Fringe is the largest arts festival in the world with over 31,000 different performances of 2,000 different shows on 250 different venues. The festival has grown so much that the Edinburgh International Film Festival, which was held in the month of August since 1947, decided to move up to the month of June in order to get some breathing space. So with so much going on, picking what to see can be quite a daunting task. Basically, you have 2 options. One is you sort through all the literature, which is going to take a long time, or you can take the other option, go around and get the word on the street. Our crew pounded the pavement of the Royal Mile and came up with 2 performances that we're going to see. the Deal Puppet Theater Guide to the Arts, and Learn to Play the Ukulele in Under 60 Minutes, or How George Formby Cured My Depression and Saved My Life. So first things first, we're gonna go catch a late night performance of the Deal Puppet Theater Guide to the Arts at the Vault, venue number 38.
Welcome to Deal Puppet Theater Company! Are you ready for some puppets? Yes! Excellent, because you're gonna get some.
The Deal Puppet Theater Company is the theater company of Mr. Doper, seen on screen as he guides us through a very unique, comedic, and sarcastic take to the history of the arts. So right after the show was done, I had to talk to the guys behind the puppets.
We're at Deal Puppet Theater Company. We are an international group. Two of us are from the UK, two from the US, and we have been here at the Fringe Festival for the full 3 weeks now. And we've been doing 2 shows a night, every night, the Guide to the Arts and History of Oppressed People. And just spending the days flyering and trying to get people to come to the shows. The Guide to the Arts was a little more collaborative. We all got together and kind of decided what parts of art really made us mad, and those are the ones that we wanted to make fun of. You know, it's the great thing about puppetry and puppets is I think you can say things with puppets that you can't really get away with saying, like the ethnic cleansing joke. Probably not something we could stand up in front of people and do and get away with, but when puppets do it, because there's that dichotomy of the innocence of the puppet with the lucidity and the satire of what you're saying, you get an added effect, an added bonus punch with it. And we also just like screwing around with crappy puppets.
Just as interesting as what's on the Royal Mile is what's underneath the Royal Mile. Mary King's Close. Ewan is our guide to this bizarre underworld. A close is a tenement building. What makes this one so unique is that for many years this was hidden. It only recently opened up and became a tourist attraction. This close is also particularly shrouded in mystery and myths due to an outbreak of plague here in 1645. Many claim that the close was walled up and the residents were left to die. However, that is not true. But there are a lot of creepy and eerie things leading many to believe that this is haunted.
What happened at these houses was obviously in 1645, the high summer of that year, plague hit Edinburgh, and it hit pretty vast. You can say it wiped out a third of the population of the city here, and it took with it over 2/3 of Mary King's Close. This was the worst affected street. Up to 800 people died here in the process of maybe 7 to 10 years. So it does show you how badly affected. But luckily for us, we had people like the plague doctors there.
Yeah, what is it with the guy with the beak and a black coat?
Well, it's actually Dr. George Ray. He was one of the plague doctors here in the city. He would basically just come into the homes here, obviously try and treat them as best he could. Obviously in that bed there you can see this is Johnny Craig. He's got bubonic plague. He's age 5. To treat that, the doctor would literally come in and burst the bubo, which is simply a pus-filled boil. He then would take a hot poker from the fire and ram it into the flesh. And that would obviously seal that and cauterize it, keeping it clean. And actually gave Johnny a 50-50 chance of survival, or indeed anyone who got that treatment. But as you can see, it was with no anaesthetic, quite harsh.
Like I said, this is a very bizarre place. Coming up next, I will be drinking some scotch and exploring a lot more of Edinburgh and the Fringe Festival. Okay, so with one performance already under my belt, I want to get something to drink. Since I'm in Scotland, I want to try some Scotch whiskey. Obviously, the best way to learn is by tasting, but first, it's also important to know about the label. Now, the label must contain the words Scotch Whiskey by law. If it reads Scottish Whiskey or Scotch Whiskey with an E, it's counterfeit. Also, if it reads single Highland malt or single malt, it's made from a single malt from the same distillery. If it says pure malt or vatted malt or blended malt, it's a blend of whiskeys. Scotland's home to many distilleries. Some of the best, though, are arguably found in the island of Islay. This is home to 8 unique distilleries. Most others are going to be in the Highlands, specifically concentrated in the region of Speyside. This is where the Scotch Whiskey Trail is, where you can visit many of the famous distilleries. Or if you can't make it up there, you can come by the whiskey shop here in Old Town. They specialize in Scotch whiskey and will make sure that they find the right one for you.
You tried whiskey before?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Yeah, but I know nothing of it.
This is Darren. He's going to be my guide through the world of whiskey.
I always recommend to have some water with whiskey, especially sometimes with younger whiskies. And if you're not overly familiar with drinking single malt whiskies, then sometimes you might get a little bit more of a sort of like alcohol or spirity taste. And by adding a touch of water, it's not
To the whiskey?
to the whiskey. It's not a bad thing. You can sometimes just open up the flavours. This is matured 12 years in American oak barrels, and quite often, you know, some of the aromas and flavours that you can pick up is, you know, things like vanilla and toffee.
It's got
Quite
a lot. I've never tried anything like this. It has a lot of taste to it, a lot.
And this is just their starting age, you know.
You know what? It's got a lot of taste to it, but the alcohol isn't the thing that kicks in the most.
No,
it's
a lot of
everything else.
flavour. There is a bit of dryness there, a bit of oakiness.
It's
But
thick.
plenty of like
Tastes really
sweetness.
thick.
Yeah, like sort of vanilla and toffee.
If I was to take a step up from this to something with more richer taste, what would I go for?
Because that one's been matured all its life in American oak casks, we need to look at something taken from sherry casks. You know, like 10 years, 100% matured in sherry casks.
Well, that's different.
You can move on to, and we will do, something which is very smoky and very peaty for whiskey.
Let's give it a try.
Rain's Whiskey on Isla.
So what should I expect right now?
Very sort of strong smoke, earthy. Think of harbours.
A little stronger than I thought it'd be.
Whiskey's a strong spirit. That's how it's meant to be. And that's big flavour. That's what, you know,
Age
offer.
31 years old. Strength 58.6% alcohol.
Flavour and a lot more.
I think you can get drunk just smelling this one.
People out there, connoisseurs, this is what they're after.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's got a lot of taste to it. I think I can taste that 58.6%. So thanks a lot, Darren, for taking the time to show me everything I had to know about Scotch whiskey.
So last night we had that whiskey lesson, and then we had a lot of alcohol. It was a little crazy. So now I'm not feeling too well. But there's this thing called haggis out here, which is food that you eat when you're hungover. I'm gonna go try some of that and see what it can do for me. We are at Monster Mash, which is a retro diner here in the city of Edinburgh, right next to the university. This is the perfect place to come try some traditional UK food. So today I'm gonna try the haggis, which back in the day was served in the stomach of the sheep and contained, I believe, intestines and even eyes. I don't know, among other things. Now what I'm about to eat, the haggis that I'm gonna eat today, is actually cooked from the shoulder of the sheep, and it also has onions and it has peppers, among other spices. So it should be a little easier to digest, I would say.
Here, the haggis is served atop a carrot souffle and mashed potatoes. Let's get some of this black sauce on it.
No, it does have a unique taste to it. The carrots make it a little sweeter. Mashed potatoes.
Provide a nice balance to the overall dish.
It has a lot of spices. I think that's the one thing. Just a lot. I can feel the pepper in my mouth. Just a lot of spices. But it's good.
It's definitely better than what you would think of when you think of haggis.
And it's good. I would have this for lunch.
Well, I need to leave Monster Mash now and get to a matinee showing of Learn to Play the Ukulele in Under 60 Minutes, or how George Formby cured my depression and saved my life at the Gilded Balloon, venue number 64. One of the most important festivals is the Edinburgh International Book Festival. This festival has more than 700 different events with writers from 40 different countries. It takes place right here in Charlotte Square, just north of the Edinburgh Castle.
I sat down with the festival director who told me that the festival focuses on being very low cost. Tickets to author speaking engagements are only £7, no matter how famous the author may be.
You can come and take part in this festival for free. You don't need to spend anything because we've got because it's very important to me that the festival be completely accessible. This isn't a festival for academics and only intellectuals, bibliophiles, people who identify themselves as book lovers. I want to say, come on in, you'll find something here.
There is also a great bookshop on site.
I need to leave now and get to a matinee showing of Learn to Play the Ukulele in Under 60 Minutes, or how George Formby cured my depression and saved my life at the Gilded Balloon, venue number 64. So the show, like the title suggests, is about George Formby and how his ukulele playing cured Sam's depression. George Formby was a ukulele performer that was popular on stage and screen in the 1930s and 40s in the UK. So as I'm sitting here learning a few chords, I can feel the spirit of the Fringe building within me. I'm starting to get an idea of my own. Yes, I think it'll turn out nice again. Being that we're at the Fringe with all the street performers, I figured I'd do a little street performing of my own. For this, I chose to utilize the Mexican poncho sarape, Mexican hat. Of course, you can't forget the mustache. And the best we could do was ukulele. And since I took a class, I figured I could go all out, use my skills, and sing some Mexican tunes. Jalisco, Jalisco, tú tienes tu novia, que es Guadalajara, muchacha bonita. ¿Quieren cantar? Cantamos una canción. Ay, Jalisco, Jalisco, tú tienes tu novia, que es Guadalajara, mi tierra mexicana. Una cooperacha para el mariachi, una cooperacha, ¿no? Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Te voy a cantar, suena la banda. Por una mujer casada me dicen que de morir. Mentiras, yo no. Es para un programa de México. Voz de la guitarra mía, al despertar la mañana, quiere cantar de alegría. Digas que chido, no se vaya, hazlo por quien más quieras tú. Yo quiero ver de nuevo luz en toda mi alma. Oh, querida. Los dos, ukulele los dos. ¿Cantamos en español? Sí. Arre. Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. Con mi amigo aquí el güerito se las vamos a cantar. ¿A quién? ¿Quién cumpleaños? ¿A quién quiere que les cantemos las mañanitas? El acordeón, el acordeón. Ahora, como si fuera polka. Tragos de amargo licor que no me hacen olvidar. Y me siento como un cobarde que hasta me pongo a llorar. ¡El acordeón, Kyle! No le corras, acordeón. Gracias, muchas gracias. Una bonita. Hey, compadre del...
Well, maybe being a street performing ukulele sensation just isn't in the cards for me. But one sound that does march on is that of the Edinburgh military tattoo. And that's what we'll leave you with tonight from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And we'll see you guys on the next World Party.